Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our call for tonight. And we are live. So let me just kind of see who's here. I think if you got one attendee. So okay, all right, very good. Let's see. It's about 6:58. So we'll get started in a few minutes. Um, uh, you know, we are going to cover some questions that I got in advance from Ultimate Insiders, and then I'm going to go through a few things about a strategy I have been talking about recently, and that you may not have thought of, but will be, I think, helpful to you, depending on how you want to do your PLR. And I think I may eventually create some kind of training or paid training about this. And I may test this out with Ultimate Insiders to see if it's something that would be a benefit. But I think if you have been looking for a way to do something different with PLR, but yet make sure it's sellable, right? Well, we don't want to do too much invention, when we know things are working. But basically, when you buy something, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to scale it, obviously, and sometimes you can scale it by increasing the price so that the price that you get for one customer makes up for the fact that maybe you didn't sell it, um, 700 times. And it's infinitely easier to get the one customer, right? Even though it doesn't seem like that, it's probably easier for you to get one customer that'll pay you that 700 if you can create the value rather than get 7 or 70 customers to pay you the $10, right? It would seem to be the reverse, but it's probably not that. And so if there's time after the questions, I will go through that strategy tonight. Um, if not, if you are on our mailing list, right? If you have read our newsletter, maybe you didn't read it the last few days, take time to read this morning's newsletter and take time to read last night's newsletter. Now, if you're an Ultimate Insider, I have not shared this strategy with you yet. I will be sharing this with you because it's going to work differently for you. So I'm going to be sharing this with you differently if an Ultimate Insider. If you're not, I um, I placed that strategy in the last two newsletters. And the reason I have not shared it with Ultimate Insiders is because your platform is different, right? So this platform, you'd have to buy a platform. You'd have to be on a certain platform to do it. And so that's why I've not shared it with you yet. Let me enable the chat here. And let me just make sure that that is enabled. And I think that I've got to uh, yep, so I think I've got the chat enabled. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure I've got the Q&A enabled. Okay, so we've got the Q&A enabled. I've got the chat enabled, so you should be able to see just fine. And let's go ahead and get started. Depending on, hello, Sharon. Um, Depending on where you're watching this from, if you're from our Central PA group, I want to welcome you. This may be a little faster than you're used to because a lot of the people who are on this call, they've been working with private label rights content, creating digital products for a long time, and they're kind of used to some of the language. But still, I'm going to try to make sure that you're able to kind of keep on it. And I think what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes is going to really kind of help you to understand. Um, as I have been saying, when it comes to PLR, private label rights videos, it's not the product, it's positioning. So positioning is everything. Routinely, what you'll see is that you may see somebody who will take a PLR product and they'll say, well, I turned it into X number of thousands of dollars just by doing this. And typically, they've already got market position. And so the bulk of your time has to be spent developing some kind of market position. And I know that's uncomfortable to say. It kind of feels like, well, I should be able to take this product, put it in front of people, it'll just sell with the copy all by itself. And that might be true for a few copies, but what you're really trying to do is we're trying to establish some kind of recurring income. And that's only going to happen when you have recurring value. And so one product is not going to do it And you've also got to really show people that it's going to be worth them buying it from you. So really, what we talk about as an ultimate insider and what I try to really work with people on is developing recurring income. And there's Laurel. Um, Developing your own recurring income, and then also positioning yourself, for success. You can do that at theplrshow.com/insiders. This is session 4. Again, if you are watching from Central PA, I'm going to run through a few things. So for you veterans, this is going to be a little review. So forgive me for this, but let me go through this, and it might be instructive for you, even if you have been working with PLR for a long time. So with that said, PLR is the easiest way to start building an online business, bar none. There is no easier way because it's inventory. So it doesn't depend on software to make it, doesn't depend on anything. All it really depends on you having an audience to buy what you have to sell. And it's the easiest way for somebody who knows nothing about online business to start doing something almost overnight, right? And so basically, it is expert content that teaches on a subject in your market. So when you buy a PLR, you want to buy something in your market, right? So if you're a life coach, you want to buy content that's related to the people and subject you're coaching it. Typically, what you're buying are videos, PDFs. They're already done for you, and they're done for you in the format so that you don't have to worry about personal, somebody putting their personal information in there. You get the licensing rights to resell the product, however it's formed, and it's not MLM. So I know a lot of people say, well, that sounds like MLM. No, it's not. It's as far away from MLM as you can because we're not talking about recruiting anybody. We're not talking about trying to get anybody to do anything. We're just going to an audience with what it is we have to sell. And so even though it is a business opportunity, right? You don't need to have a license or anything like that to sell a digital product. It is not multi-level marketing. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm not saying that multi-level marketing is bad. I'm just saying that that's not what this is. And you don't have to go get people in order to do this. So this can be a product in and of itself. So it monetizes when you don't have the time or money to create something to monetize. I know a lot of people who have people listening to them, who have an audience, but they don't have anything to sell if they don't have a book, right? So after they sell the book the first time, they don't have anything else to sell. And PLR really is that in between space because you're getting something that you can put together as a digital product to sell people. It can be a way of taking the product you already have to beef it up, right? So maybe you've already got a product, but it's not quite selling. That's because you have something missing. And so you can use PLR to make it bigger and better. And it's almost like big companies that will contract out to a training company. You've probably seen that. I'm not, a lot of you may be a cubicle rat. Laurel and I are ex-cubicle rats, right? You were your company, they would contract out certain things to training companies, right? I used to work for a commercial bank. Laurel worked for Arthur Anderson, which was kind of going way back, but basically these big companies at times when they wanted you to know something, they would outsource the training to somebody. And that's almost like what PLR is. It's like outsourcing. I do want to talk about PLR videos because that's what we do. So it can be an upsell to a guide. So you get a PDF. And so what you can do is you can upsell that by adding on videos. And it can increase the value of the PDF guide. So when you sell somebody an ebook, what are they getting? Right? It's got to be like really valuable content and usually content in there, but you can almost increase the value instantly by adding on a set of videos to that. Um, you should not give that, right? And I say this to ultimate insiders, and I want to say this to you, even if you're not an ultimate insider. You need to stop just giving people a download. I don't think that's cool. People don't know where you got it from. They've got to download it to their hard drive, and I know it's cheaper and easier to do that. And I know internet marketers don't care, but if your customer is not an internet marketer, please don't do that. If you have videos, you put those videos in a place for them to watch those videos and give them an experience. And actually, you get a chance to monetize that. And even if you have an ebook, you can put that ebook inside of free flipbook software. All right. You can put that inside of anything so that they can watch it on your site. They don't have to worry about trying to download it onto their hard drive if they got a mobile device. Um, you should put all your content on a platform with a watch page. That's how you should deliver your digital product. You can use system.io, and I spelled that wrong. It's actually system IO. I need to change that. And we actually give you a platform as an Ultimate Insider. If you become an Ultimate Insider to Ultimate Insider at plrshow.com/insiders, you can also get your own platform at Go High Level. Um, you can also set it up on WordPress, right? It's a little more difficult. And what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to give people something, don't want to read content when you give people video. And whenever you add on videos, you should charge more, right? So if you're going to sell people an ebook and you want to charge them $17, if you give them videos also, charge them 37, right? Charge them some kind of upsell more for the videos that you're giving them because you're basically making it easier for them and more convenient for them. Um, Now, what I will say about PLR videos is if you're buying something, you should not spend your time doing the voiceover. And I don't care if it's, if you're getting content and you hear a female voice and you're thinking, well, I'm a dude and I don't want that. That's not where your time is best spent. You should not be revoicing videos. I don't care what the revoicing is. Now, you might have some cases where you don't necessarily like the language and the accent. I dig that, right? That's a case where you might want to get an AI to do some stuff over for you. But in general, don't spend your time redoing voicing. Um, you should not be distracting. You should also not be distracting with brand names or the content. Okay. Last thing I do want to talk about are PLR videos. That's what Laurel and I do, and it's different than most PLR. So it works differently. You got to think about it differently. So it doesn't. So you can't think of it. So if all the other instruction you're getting about PLR does not apply to what it is we sell, right? I just want to tell you that. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I got PLR and I did a course on PLR, now I know how to use PLR. When you get our videos, it doesn't necessarily work like that because we're doing live action. We're teaching a process. We're doing a demonstration on screen. And so these are video process demonstrations, right? So they're live action. So, I mean, I could just take screenshots and do them all, but that still will not give your customer, it won't make them stop. And so basically, all the videos you use, anytime you get videos that are over the shoulder, you want to make sure they're short and that they are named specifically so your customer knows exactly what they're watching. When you get PLR videos, watch the whole course. We put these videos in Teachable. Why do we do that? It's so that you will watch the entire course. Please do not be in such a rush to kind of put it out there and sell it, and you don't know what's in it because you're ultimately not even a great salesperson. You can be a fantastic salesperson if you will watch that course over one time. I promise you that. Take your time. Again, all these courses are in Teachable. Watch the course. Once you watch the course, you will know how to sell it to your audience. The other thing about PLR videos of the kind we do, you can mix and match them. That's one of the questions I got from Sharon K. And she was wondering, can I mix and match them? Of course, you should be doing that. So if you got a course from our Udemy course, and you got a course from our System.io course, and you figure out a way to put them together because you're teaching something unique, that is what you should do. And so we sell and we name these individual videos so that you know how to do that. So whatever you're selling, right, you should be able to take all these different courses, all these different videos from different courses to make your own course. You should be making your own course, your own syllabus. And so you're building trust and leveraging expertise. That's what you're doing with on-screen videos. You should not be revoicing them again, right? And you should be leveraging the expertise of us as your trainer, right? And you should take credit for choosing us. So in other words, every credential that we have, now listen, we don't tell you that, we did instructional technology in a graduate program, try to impress you. We tell you that because you should be using that when you sell it, right? Well, this is what our trainers do. They do this. They got MBAs. They got, their doctoral, all that stuff you should be taking and you should be using it. And what do you want to do as a buyer? You take credit for choosing us, right? That's what you should be doing. So anytime that you have credentials, right? You want to put your credentials out there. But when we sell these videos to you, you should use the fact that we're in a doctoral program. You should use the fact that we did MBAs. You should use the fact that we did postgraduate work. and instructional technology. You should use that in your sales presentation and when you are letting people know what they are buying. Now, should you be reduced? Now, the only way you should be revoicing videos, right? Only way. Again, even if you don't like the fact that I'm a male and you're female, you should still not be redoing my voice. The only way is if you want to be known as a technical training teacher. Most of you will not because that's not the ultimate value you provide. You provide more value by not being a technical teacher, right? So you probably don't want to do that. That's going to be a rare 1.5% case where that's where you're trying to brand yourself as, and you should be redoing videos. I want to talk tonight briefly about unrestricted rights PLR. Basically, that means that you give some rights to resell the right to resell, right? That's what unrestricted rights now. Now, everybody does that differently. You need to look at the right certificate, but that's what unrestricted rights PLR is. You are giving your customer the right to use the product in their business. That's what you're doing, just as you were given. And so most marketers are just going to take PLR videos, they're going to put them in a big package, and they're going to pack it up with a lot of stuff, right? That's what most people are going to do. I'm going to suggest that you don't do that. When you get unrestricted rights content, right, you don't want to take the lowest hanging fruit because ultimately the lowest hanging fruit will leave you with the least amount of profit in the long run, right? So please, and I'm not saying don't do that, right? Sometimes you want to get your money back just like that. So you put it in a package, you sell it, use it as a bonus, whatever you want to do, right? I'm not telling you what not to do, but I'm saying if you really think about it, when you get unrestricted rights content, there's so much more you can do. And when I go back to my comment at the beginning, when you're looking for a customer, it's easier to find a higher value customer. It's just as hard to find a higher value customer as it is to find a lower value customer. And when you do that, right? When you all you do is you just kind of take it, you kind of get it out there, say it's unrestricted rights. You can only compete on the basis of price, right? That's your only thing. You can only compete on the basis of price. I got a lot of stuff and it's cheap. And again, that's cool, right? You'll make some sales, but you will not get a customer that you want to work with. And that's ultimately what you want. You want customers that you want to work with and that you would go to lunch with if they became your customer. One of the things I can say, and one of the things that Laurel and I have been loving about doing some of these onboarding calls is if these people were in our town, like if they came through here, I'd absolutely have lunch with them, right? Finding these customers has been worth our time rather than just trying to sell to everybody, right? We've kind of really made an effort to try to find ultimate insiders because these are people that I don't know them right when they first get started, but once we get to know them, it's to a person. We get off the call and say, you know what, that's a good dude. That's a woman we'd like to get to know better. It always works like that. It's always worth your time to try to get a higher value customer. And so I want to kind of give you a strategy for using unrestricted rights PLR so that you can get some of those higher value customers. You can charge more for them, right? Because the other thing about when you use unrestricted rights PLR and you just kind of bundle it up and try to compete on the basis of price, the only place you can sell it is with JVZoo Warrior Plus people. And I'm not saying we're bad people, right? You're basically selling to me, and I'm not a bad person, but that's the only place you can sell it. And that's not what you should be thinking, right? What you're buying when you buy a $10 PLR product is leverage. If you understand how to get leverage. If you buy a $10 product, you're just going to bundle up with other $10 stuff, then all you're getting is just this little bitty thing that you can do. What I'm telling you about tonight is something that's beyond that, right? I want you to think beyond that and think outside of the box. Now, let's say that your buyer knows what it is. This is the other part to that. If you just kind of stick it in a bundle with a bunch of other stuff, your buyer might say, okay, well, I got that big bundle over there, and I got another big bundle over here, and it's got a lot of the same stuff. You've basically not devalued the product, but you devalue yourself because you're just in a category now with everybody else. And that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to be in a category of everybody else. You don't want to be saying the same stuff everybody else says. You don't want to be giving people the same stuff everybody gives because that puts you in, quite frankly, affectionately, it puts you in an internet marketing ghetto, right? So you're in an internet marketing ghetto with everybody else doing all the same things, trying to do stuff to get out. And that's not what you want to do. I want to talk to you about what I call the DFY boss method. And basically, you're going to need a platform. You can use the Go High Level Agency platform or System.io account platform, either way. Right. And again, now, if you're an Ultimate Insider, I'm going to have to explain this to you differently. So if you're an Ultimate Insider, you're watching this, right? I'm going to give you a totally different strategy, even though it's going to be related to this. Um, because your platform is different. So that's why I've got to explain it to you at another time differently. But having said that, if you have a platform like that Go High Level Agency or System.io account agency, um, what you need is an unrestricted rights product or a master resale rights product to do what I'm about to talk to you about. You need one of these. Now, again, I've explained this in the last two emails. I'm going to explain it again. Here's what you are positioning yourself as: a product creator for other people. You're not a product creator for just for yourself, right? You're not just selling instruction. You are positioning yourself as not a consultant, but as a product creator. You're going to create products for other people. You are going to charge a fee for the entire setup process. So basically, I'm a life coach, right? Let's say I'm a life coach and I don't have a way to sell my own product. I don't even know how to create a digital product. You're going to tell me, hey, Mr. Life Coach, I'm going to do everything for you. All you're going to have to do is put your buy button on there. And when you go to speak, you're going to tell people what URL to go to. That's what you're going to do for me as a life coach, right? And I'm going to tell you how to do this. And you can only do this with resale rights, master resale rights, and unrestricted rights. You're going to set up the entire product for sale in the platform. So let's say you decide to use System.io. You're going to set up the entire course, right? Sales pages, lead magnet page, video course, all going to be set up in your platform, right? It's going to be set up in yours. You will then set up the training videos, right? What you're going to do is you also need to have, and you need to show them how to use the platform. So you get our System.io videos, right? So get our videos, and this is how you're going to train your customer how to use the platform. So if you don't have our System.io videos, you need to get them if you're going to use this strategy. Now, again, I'm talking about you selling this for, $197, $297, really $497. You should be selling this entire setup process, but you need to give your customer confidence that they can use the platform, and you use our videos to do that, right? So get our System.io videos to do that. If you want to use you want to do this with Go High Level, we've got another set of videos. It's not as well developed as our System.io videos. We're in development. It's called Video Academy Boss. You can also get the same thing if you want to do that with a Go High Level agency. Now, here's basically what's going to happen. The client's got to get their own System.io account. And that's otherwise it's a deal breaker. They've either got to have one or they got to get one. So basically, they've got to get it through your affiliate link. Now you might say, now why am I going to do that? So why would I want to only have them get it through my affiliate link? And basically what you're going to tell them, you're going to explain to them that you're getting a price break if they get it through your affiliate link. Right? So basically they're not getting it to do affiliate marketing and all this other stuff, this weird stuff that you see people doing. They're getting it so that they will have a place for you to set up this product and future products. You are a consultant. You are a product creator for them. Charge accordingly. This is a full DFY service. So don't charge a little bit for this. Charge a lot for it. Also, when you do this, do not get into recommending a payment service. You let them set up their own payment service. Don't recommend, oh, get PayPal. Oh, we'll get Stripe and connected. That's not your business. You let them set up let them decide, right? Because sometimes they might hook up their PayPal account. There's nothing wrong with System.io, but they could get their PayPal account taken because of something they did, and they will associate that with you. So don't get involved in that. The only thing you want to do is make sure they know they got to contact their payment processor in order to do this. One thing you do want to do, right? Check and see if let's say you're using System.io or Go High Level. You want to make sure they have one of the payment processors that they can hook up to this, right? You got to make sure because if they buy System.io or they buy Go High Level and they don't have a payment processor, then that is a problem. So you do have to make sure they've got something they can connect with it. Um, Now, here's what you're going to do, right? I don't have this in there, but basically, I do have this. Let me kind of go forward. Now, with PLR videos, you do have to get your customer to record the bumper videos because it's going to be somebody else's voice, but it's going to be their product. And you got to talk them through this idea of wrapping around this by recording their own bumper videos. And you're going to set up their autoresponder. Now, I don't have time to go into that, but you're going to be doing that. You can add in some bonuses, right? You can do an interview with a client. You can get other people, right? If you really want to get a high value service, right? You go do interviews with other people so you can add it to their course, right? So you can play with price all day depending on what you do. So once you start creating something unique like this, you are out of the ball game of price, right? So price doesn't matter. You just got to find a client who understands the value of what you're doing and you charge what it's worth. You don't charge them according to your time. You charge them what it's worth, right? And you're not looking for 10 customers, not looking for 30 customers, 70 customers, you're looking for one. You can do this for one at a time, right? And the process is mostly automated. So let's say that you decide to do this with one of our courses. How are you going to put this together? Well, it's going to be easy because you don't even put the videos together. You're going to take the share code we give you, and you're going to share that code right over to your customer's account, right? You're going to take the share code from the sales pages. You're going to share that right over to your customer's account. So you're gonna fix it up. You're gonna fix up the videos for them. You're gonna fix up the sales pages, and it's not gonna be a manual process. It's automated. It's automated. So you're not even doing all the work. What you're doing is you're focusing on marketing and you're focusing on elevating this value. Okay, so that's it. Now, again, I explained this in detail in your email. So if you got yesterday's or last night's email, read that. Right, I went into detail about it. Also went into detail about it in this morning's email, so you can read that also. Now, I do have some questions that people sent in ahead of time, so I want to get to these. And this is, I think, from Dana. And Dana asked, she says, now the page builder I've used for sales pages in the past is non-functioning and abandoned, right? That happens a lot. Do you recommend installing and using the free version of Elementor or similar? And I'm going to say that if you can create sales pages fast with them and you can replicate them fast with it, then yes. One of the reasons why I do not get rid of Optimize Press 2 and even though Optimize Press 3 is available, I'm paying for it, Optimize Press 3. I still will not get rid of Optimize Press 2 because I can create pages, I can clone pages like that. And so I can move quickly. And so the speed of what I'm able to do means more to me than and when you're talking about digital products, you typically got to create something fast to take advantage of an opportunity. And so I would say that if you can create pages fast, right, that look good, you can clone those pages fast that look good to your liking, then use Elementor. If you're talking about a learning curve, I'm not sure if that's the one that I would use, mainly because it's WordPress. And WordPress comes with, I mean, you got to deal with just stuff that has that's WordPress related, right? And plugin conflicts. And so I'm going to say that I lean away from that. If you can find a source where you can do it and create things quickly that you don't have to use WordPress. And so then her next question is, would you use the platform sales page templates such as Thrivecart or Gumroad? Yeah. I see. I like Thrivecart for this because it's kind of laid out already, or Gumroad, and keeping it simple, right? And I think I know the product you're talking about selling. So if I think I understand the product you're talking about selling, I would almost do the Gumroad page for Gumroad people. Thrivecart maybe for everybody else. Now, when it comes to if you're going to recruit affiliates on Warrior Plus, then I think you do need a sales page builder where you can move quickly. And if you can do it with Elementor and move quickly, I would say yes. If not, the the dividing line is where can I create pages fast if I got to sell something? And so do I have another suggestion? Um, um, I think Optimize Press 3.0 is good. The reason I don't use it is because I'm stuck on 2, right? And so I think that it's good and it's good enough. So that's one that I would say that's one you could use. Optimize Press 2 if you want to stick with WordPress. Um, let's see. I think this is from I think it's from William. I think this is from William. William's question is, when you set up your blog with products, do you use a multi-blog or create a subdomain, or put HTML page, or just more blog on the subdomains? Okay, if you're selling a product, I think you want to put those on a subdirectory or subdomain. So I think you want to use one domain, right? And I would not even get into WordPress with this. So when you say multi-blog, I would leave the blog totally out of it. I create a directory and put the pages in the directory, and you can turn that directory into a subdomain, but I would not use, I think it's WordPress multi, WP multi, or whatever it is. I would not get the blog into this at all because I think that just complicates things. And I would put it, I would put, so for example, I would say charlesharper.com/Udemy, Udemy product, charlesharper.com/system course, charlesharper.com. So just like pretty much I do with courses on the PLR show, right? So for example, we just did Claude, and Claude was plrshow.com/CWCAI, right? That's a subdirectory, right? Now I did that with WordPress, but it's the same thing. You're going to do this with HTML pages, but you want to create a subdirectory, and you want to create the subdirectory for the individual product, right? That is what I would do. Please talk about using Product Dino with the courses and how to install them. Okay, so Product Dino is a way to deliver the course. Product Dino requires you to have a video host. They don't host your videos, so you're going to have something. I think I've seen that people use Vimeo. Searchy is pricey, and there's a new one called Vroomly, right? Vroomly is supposed to be something that people are using. I don't know what their limits are, but you do need to have a video host. I would not use YouTube. So you're going to have a way to kind of put those videos and embed them inside the product area in Product Dino. Now, the most important aspect of this is where you're going to, or if you're going to be recruiting affiliates. If you're going to recruit affiliates on the Warrior Plus network, I think Product Dino does talk to Warrior Plus, but you're going to have to do it by webhook. I think that's what it is, or one of the not off the shelf integrations. So Warrior Plus does not have an off the shelf integration for Product Dino. You're going to have to either use one of the alternative ones, or you have to use a webhook. But that's pretty easy to do. So I think if you're an Ultimate Insider, and you find the help screen, if you don't understand it, write me, right? Just send it to me in support if you don't understand it. But pretty much you're just going to look for the integration between Product Dino and Warrior Plus. Somebody's done that already, I'm sure. But if you're not going to recruit affiliates on Warrior Plus, then none of this really matters. The only thing that matters is where you're going to connect it and where you're going to recruit affiliates to sell the product, right? In terms of Product Dino. Otherwise, Product Dino, it's going to create a member area. It's going to create a subdomain for you, and it's going to deliver your course. It's designed for that, right? It's a pretty good system to deliver a course. Now, again, like the only thing I would say is that you got to keep in mind that you still do have to have a video host, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay. I think this is Sharon, right? Sharon says, I'm setting up my training academy. I want to mix and match some courses. That's what you should be doing, just like I said, right? You should be mixing and matching, and you should create your own course. Can you move courses around, create your own suite of courses? Absolutely, you should be. You should be doing your own version of AI, and you should be taking various videos from various courses to make your own AI course, right? So you don't have to, nor should you use sell them all as one course, right? You should set up your own course based on what you are trying to teach individuals about a specific subject. So that's a great question. And that's actually what I encourage you to do, as well as all Ultimate Insiders. Okay, so you suggested that we record front and back bumpers. Would I do this for each bundle or individual courses? Yeah, so anything that you're selling, I would recommend that when you go to PLR videos, you would have one video at the beginning of the course, and whatever you're selling. So if you're selling a bundle, right, then there should be an introduction. And basically it's going to be you taking them through how to get the most out of the course. And you're going to say, it's like uh I call it a video mind map is what you should be doing. And you are going to individualize their path through a course. That's another reason why you should be putting together the course the way you want them. If a if a video in a specific course, let's say I do a video on something that's totally irrelevant, you should not include that video with your customers, right? It doesn't, just because I put 20 videos in there doesn't mean you should be selling 20 videos or 20 videos from that course. You should be putting together a course that matters. And so when you do that, you're going to put a video at the beginning. It's going to say, okay, video 7 is going to say this, but here's what I say. Or videos 13, 14, and 15 is going to talk about this process. When you get to that process, here's what I suggest you do differently than what I do. So in other words, you give people a map. So your first video is a map through the course. The last video is for monetization. So basically the last video is here's what you can get here, additional resources. Here's what we just talked about. Here are some resources that you should pay attention to. And that's where you're going to have all your other resources that you're going to monetize this additional course, as well as to set up the next course. What you tell people in that last video, right, that you put on the end is that right here in the member area, you're going to see a course about YouTube. And this is one of my favorite courses about YouTube because blah, 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 blah. And there's also a course here about prompt engineering. And this is really important to me personally because, and then you talk about it and you send them to that link, right? So now you don't make the last video like, 30 minutes long, right? But it should be the last video where you're sending them off, right? Because let's say that somebody watches all videos. Let's say that you set it up, they watched 13 videos, now they watch the last. You reward them with that last video while you tell them what they should be doing next. Right. So that's the way that I would record those front and back bumpers. Okay, let me see. Okay, so person said no, there are no stupid questions. Okay, so want to confirm some things. Unless the products you sell say specifically sell reseller rights, we cannot sell them. Well, if they're downloadable, okay, if you're talking about hours, right, and they're downloadable, right? If you find the downloads, for the most part, you can use them, right? If you have any questions about them, if it's hours, just write me. But for the most part, if you can download the product, you can use it. If it's hours and it's not downloadable, it's not, right? So anything that's in there, right, in Harper Academy, if it's downloadable, you can use it, right? If it's not, probably can't, right? So I hope that that's not a stupid question. There are no stupid questions, but that's how I would answer that. Okay. Let me see. Gail says, isn't it a good idea to add additional links on each video page. Yes. So yeah, Gail brought up, and this is something I've been talking about the last few weeks, is creating a watch page. So your watch page should have all the resources. So every video goes on individual page, right? So don't um again, now this is my take on this. I do not think that you set up one page with 10 videos, right? And where video one top stat, because there's no way to get the customer to stop. Human nature is that the customer is going to go, they're going to, they're going to, people's attention spans like that long, mine included. They're going to stop at this video. They say, oh, I want to find out about this. They're going to go to that page. You're trying to keep them on that page. Why? So you can give them the other resources. And you put the other resources on the one page, right? One page, one set of resources. So, right. So what Gail is saying is right. You put your resources on the one page and you associate them with one video. Every watch page should have multiple resources. A lot of those resources should be what? Courses that you have on your domain. Um, and so there's this concept, right, that people talk about, like money circulating in certain communities, that kind of thing. And so my twist on that is that all money, right, that comes into your learning center, comes into your course area, should circulate in your course area. So don't go sending people to an affiliate course when you've got PLR courses you could set up. So all your courses should be set up on your domain. If you got 10 courses from us, you set them up. And so every time you get the chance, you should be recommending them. And so when your customer, let's say they got our Chat GPT course and they're on video 7, well, you should have prompt engineering set up so that a link to that course is on your video 4 watch page. They click on that link, it goes to your domain where they can buy prompt engineering from you. So all your money should be circulating inside of your economy, right? The, for us, it's the Harperverse, right? The Harper universe. We want all funds to be circulating in the Harperverse. You should have your own version of the universe, right? All your money should be circulating in your community before you send them out to an affiliate link. Now, you might not be at that point where you got a lot to sell, but I know everybody on this call, and I know you. And don't think I don't know you. I do know you all. You all have multiple PLR courses, right? Right. So you should be able to set up lots of courses and put them on all your watch pages. Okay, so Sharon's asking, what do you recommend pricing a course like Chat GPT? It depends on what your audience expects. So I've seen people sell a course for $97. I've seen them sell it for 17. And so what you don't want to do, you've got to set expectations. So you are communicating on the basis of price. When we sell PLR, we are setting up the expectation you're going to buy more, right? That's an expectation inside of the price. But what you want to do is you want to set expectation. And so if your customers expect to pay $47, then you want to make sure that they pay $47. And if they don't pay $47, or they start saying stuff like, that's a little bit above my, I don't want, then you add stuff, right? You go get an interview. Bring somebody in, right? Who can talk about some stuff, add some stuff to it, until it comes up to that value where you want to sell it. So if you want me to give you a dollar amount, and I'm thinking about, are you thinking about your group, Sharon? Are you thinking about how much you want to sell it to your group? Or are you talking about selling it outside of the group? Now let me see. While she's answering that, let me see if there are some other questions outside of the group. Okay, so I'm gonna say you don't want to go, but you don't want to go before below 37. I think you make a special offer, um, 47, and then maybe go 37 special offer with some bonuses, some urgency, and some scarcity. Right, that's a benchmark. So, so if you need to go higher than that because people expect to pay more than that, charge more. So I would say go up from there. I'm saying that's a minimum.
Did you
Right,
see
it's a
the
good
second
question.
part of the question that Gail had asked in the chat?
I did not. Let me see. Okay. Okay, you can use it to make a product, but you can't use to sell as PLR, correct? Okay, good question. Um, if it says if you get master resale rights, you can sell it to a person to resell, but unless it has and it says that you can give your customer PLR rights, that's right, you cannot. So, so typically, if you get a package and it says unrestricted rights, then you can give it to them. You can give the rights whatever you want. Anytime you start looking at some kind of limitation on the rights, typically you're not going to be able to give your customer the right to redo it and resell it. I'm not really sure if I really fully understood that distinction, but people do make that distinction. They'll give people the right to resell it, but not to redo it. And so now here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing to that. If you're selling this, right, and I know that you put together some PLR too, Gail. Um, if somebody comes to you and they say they want to sell rights, right, and you generally don't do that, you charge for it. So in other words, um, I've had people to come to me. I don't sell master resale rights, right, for any of my products, unless you're willing to pay. Now, the person came to me and they offered me a lot more money for it. So I said yes. So I would say that if you don't see the rights you want, ask for them, right? And be willing to pay for them. So in some cases, you may not you want to give your customer the right to resell it. And the product does not allow that. Well, you pay for it, right? And if you think you can make it back with what you're selling, right? If you think you can make a higher value offer, then you go ahead and you pay for the rights. Again, of course, you're taking a risk, right? You're taking a risk that you're gonna be able to get it back because of the additional value you're creating. But um, I had somebody do that with me, and I sold them the rights, but they paid for it, right? Um, so there's always give and take. Even if you see the right certificate, that's negotiable if you're willing to pay, right? And if somebody comes to you as a creator, you can be negotiated with, right? If I come to you, if I come to you and I say I want to resell the rights to, some of your PLR, I'm willing to pay you, a grand five. What would you say? You say yes, right? So that's kind of my take on it. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Let's see. I think I covered that. I covered. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Um, I will tell you there's some unrestricted rights coming up, where you can do some of this stuff we were talking about. Um, I just put together a bonus for Aurelius's PLR. So I did this thing called 1000 True Fans. Is back. I actually did it a while back, but it's evergreen, right? So I give you unrestricted rights to that. You can do whatever with it, what you want. It's a bonus with Aurelius's thing. Um, I think I did unrestricted rights to Rich Sambrano's, right? I think his launch is over. Now, Monday's bonus, my buddy Joan, right? Joan Altrez, my Warrior Plus buddy. She's going to be doing something on Monday, and I'm going to put together an unrestricted rights bonus for that, so you'll be able to use that. Um, on Tuesday, we're releasing Zapier, right? That's going to come with unrestricted rights. I haven't done that in a long time. So that's going to, of course, going to come with unrestricted rights. You'll be able to use that. And I'm thinking about offering unrestricted rights once monthly, and then maybe I haven't really figured this out. Teachable hasn't really given me the ability yet, but I want to set up a tier of Ultimate Insiders where you can also get an unrestricted rights course, right? So I haven't quite figured that out, but that's probably going to be coming in 2024. Now, here's the thing, right? If you're talking about using that strategy and where this breaks down and why you just can't use, and I say this with all sincerity, you can't just buy anybody's PLR to do this. Because basically, once you think about what you're doing, you're coming to me as a life coach or whatever I am. Let's say you're selling to me, you're setting up my product. You are taking PLR to do that. And you're telling me I can sell it to my customers. You better make sure it's accurate, right? So that's the only way. Now, this, I gave you the great strategy, but it only works if the content you're using, you know it's accurate. If you don't know it's accurate and you haven't read it, you haven't watched the videos, and even if you watch it, and sometimes, I mean, you might watch something, you start cringing, then you can't do that with this. It has to be accurate, right? Think about what you're doing. Talking about with the DFY boss strategy, you're coming to me, I'm going to pay you $497. You're going to set up my entire product, a video course, and then my customers now relying on that. It's got to be accurate. So just so you'll know. Um, and again, I just talked about this with Gail, right? You know, um, you want to, if you can, if you got to negotiate the rights, negotiate, right? Again, I've had people come to me and negotiated rights for certain products, but they did pay. And so, and it's not cheap, just so you know, it's not, it's not, it's not a couple $100. So, okay.
One more
Um,
comment from Dave
let's see.
in the chat.
Is there a list of courses that have GHL snapshots? I need. I don't have a full list yet, Dave. It's a really new process. Um, but I will put that together. Yeah, it's a very new process. I don't have a list that I can formalize for you, but I will put that together. I'll put that on a list of things to do. It's a good point. And let's see. Russell, uh, Gail, a GHL snapshot is basically the share code from that puts the course inside of the Go High Level system, right? Okay, and a question from Russell Bean: are the Warrior Plus offers good? It's like everything else. Some are, some are not, and you got to be discerning. We've got an Ultimate Insider. Her name is Suzanne Stoddard, right? I'd say first of all, go to her channel because she reviews all these things, right? So, Suzanne, are you here? I don't know. Is Suzanne, are you here tonight? Um, so if Suzanne, just look her up. I don't know what the name of her channel is. Her name is Suzanne Stoddard, and she does review these products. You have to be discerning. Number one. Number two, you'll be able to tell pretty fast, right? If you get put on 3 lists, right, and they're kind of coming at you with all kinds of other stuff. I mean, right? So I would say there are very good Warrior Plus products. I mean, my friend Tiffany Lambert, she's good. There are a lot of good people, right? A lot of great PLR people that put their courses on Warrior Plus. We recommend a lot of them, but there are some that are not. So I would say be discerning and then check out Suzanne's channel. Okay, Laurel just put Suzanne's channel in the chat. So she's an Ultimate Insider. She goes over this stuff, and so it'd be a good idea. Go ahead and subscribe to her channel and just kind of watch what she does. Right, Russell says you get tons of emails every day. Right. Well, you know what? There's only one revenge, Russell. You gotta get your own list. You got to email every day too. Right. So, yeah, I hear you. So only revenge, Russell. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So Dave says, yeah, Dave says I'm putting together my membership site together first. Which course should I start first? Um, if you're talking about right now, I think you gotta take all your AI stuff, you gotta put them in some kind of order, and you gotta make that front and center, Dave. And I'm not saying you gotta live there, and I'm not saying you gotta stay there, but that's what people want now. You know, I- that's just what people want. So I put your AI stuff front and center. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. Yep, very much appreciate that. All right, any other questions? Well, okay, everybody. You could have been doing anything else on a Saturday night, but you chose to spend it with us talking about unrestricted rights PLR and other things. Suzanne Stoddard, buddy. Her name is Suzanne Stoddard. And check the chat. If you check the chat, Laura put her channel. Yeah, yeah, put her channel link in the chat. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us here. Have a great weekend and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care. Thank you, Gail. We appreciate it.